Hello everybody, and today is Thursday, May 8th. Welcome to Enjoy the Movies, where I now put in my 2 cents about movies. Sorry to say, I may sound a little bit congested. It's allergies. But I've watched a handful of good movies lately, and you're in for a treat this week, because I actually went out to the theater and watched a movie. So, anyway, one of the movies I want to talk about is The Brave One. Another movie is GreatDebaters, and last one is IronMan. So, let's just get right to it. Start with The Brave One. Now, this is a little bit older. It's a thriller suspense movie starring Jodie Foster, and she is this woman who basically has this fiance. They develop them really well for the first, maybe 5 minutes. Then something ridiculous happens and basically traumatizes Jodie Foster's character, and the fiance ends up dying. And pretty much, she ends up getting a gun. Now, there's a lot of weird random stories that come along associated with her getting a gun later, and that's where some of the surprises come. But pretty much, it's a very good thriller suspense drama, I'd probably say. There's a lot of tension, and there's a handful of movement, so I wouldn't quite call it an action movie, but it's definitely a very good thriller suspense drama. So it's called The Brave One. Also stars Terrence Howard. He's the detective that basically plays supporting character opposite Jodie Foster. But other than that, it's very well done. Definitely good dialogue, good presentation. There's some interesting stylistic scenes in there. Definitely, one of the ones that stuck out in my mind was the subway train ride. And anyway, if you end up watching it, I thought it was very good. I liked it a lot. Definitely recommend The Brave One. Definitely worth a watch. Next one I talk about is The GreatDebaters. Now, this movie actually comes out next week on DVD, and I'm fairly certain I have the date right this time. Usually before in the past where I get dates, I usually mix them up by a week off or two, and it's just, I'm really inconsistent on that. I'm sorry, but pretty much when I review it, you either know it's coming or I'll specifically say I saw it in the theater. So, anyway, The GreatDebaters. Now, this movie is pretty much a drama movie. It's just drama. It's very well done drama. It's based on a true story. It stars Denzel Washington and Forrest Whitaker, two great actors. But it's not really them that we focus on. It's the four kids that Denzel Washington's character takes in as a debate team to represent their school. And pretty much, well, it's based on a true story. You can probably figure out what happens. But there's this theme of pretty much what's going on in the world at that time. I believe it was the early 30s or something. It's around 35. Okay, so 1935. Anyway, so I definitely liked it a lot. Definitely worth a watch. There's overtones. They discuss things like racism, lynching, things like that. So, and it's very pertinent to the times that this movie takes place in. Yeah, don't mind that. That just anyway. So, GreatDebaters. Very good story. Very good cinematography. It's kind of long. I think it's just a shade over 2 hours, but the pacing is so good that you can't even notice. It just goes. It flows. Especially if you like this kind of movie. So definitely recommend GreatDebaters. It's great drama, very not just entertaining but educational. Obviously not for younger children, mostly because I think the theme by itself is not suitable for younger children. Same thing with The Brave One, so don't go showing that to your little kids. But anyway, so GreatDebaters, definitely recommend. Great acting, great story, and definitely worth a watch. Also, I did take the time to notice that it comes out on DVD next week, but it's a Blockbuster exclusive, so you can pretty much only watch it if you rent it or buy it from Blockbuster. I'm not even sure if we're going to get any for sale yet, because it might just be a rental Blockbuster exclusive. Anyway, so needless to say, those are the two DVD movies. Next one I want to talk about is IronMan. Now, like a silly person, I only have one class on Wednesdays, so Wednesday during the day, matinee showing, went to see Iron Man, only because a couple of my roommates were already going, so I'm like, I'm there, so had to go. Now, I'm a huge fan of movies in general, but I'm really a huge fan of good movies, so I definitely had to see this one just to see how it was going to go. That and, I like superheroes, so I'm not like a huge comic fan. I really only have maybe like 30 comics or so, but Anyway, so this is based on the Marvel character Iron Man, whose secret identity is Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. I can't talk. Anyway, Robert Downey Jr. and also Terrence Howard is in this movie as well. Lately, Terrence Howard's been like everywhere. Jeff Bridges also is in the movie, and Gwyneth Paltrow. So huge cast, pretty much ensemble cast, and I think this movie is phenomenal. So arguably one of the best action movies lately, probably in the past like 3 or 4 months. Needless to say, it's not on DVD yet because I just saw it at the movie theater. So if you want to catch it, it's an action movie. The only kind of movies that I'll watch at the theater are action movies. Pretty much just because huge screen, huge special effects, everything's great. Definitely recommend watching it there. So, if you don't know, it's pretty much the origin story of how Iron Man comes to be in the universe. I'm not exactly sure on how the comic story went, so I'm fairly certain they didn't keep it 100%. They probably took a little bit of artistic license, but it's pretty much how Iron Man came to be. A couple of things. There's the first couple of scenes. There's supposed to be this 3-month period that passes. If you end up watching the movie, you'll know which part I mean. And honestly, it doesn't feel like 3 months. It feels like a lot less than that. But I guess it serves the movie. They had to cut stuff. Kept pacing going. I mean, I don't think there was any point where it was a slow movie. So there's that. Action, special effects, great. Definitely don't need to mention that multiple times. I mean, just seeing the trailer, and there's a lot more cool parts than just the trailer scenes, so definitely worth a watch. The thing about this movie that I actually well respect, that actually a lot of superhero movies have been doing lately, is that it gets to the bare bones of what comics I think are based on. So, I watched this documentary a while back, a long time ago when I was younger, that comic books were originally written to not just have interesting stories, but they're stories that said something. So whether it was like social commentary or to teach a lesson, or just to depict some sort of real aspect of life, just to show other people. And I think this is the way that superhero movies should go. The remake of Batman Begins. It was great. It was amazing. It showed a dark Batman, Batman with his vices, things like that. This shows an Iron Man. Iron Man is a real guy, has vices, and the world that he lives in, filled with like intrigue and deception, and this is how the real world's supposed to be. Superhero movies aren't supposed to just be oh hey, that's the bad guy, it's clear cut and all that fun stuff, and just stop him and save the world. That's not how they're supposed to be. So I definitely like this rendition of Iron Man. Definitely recommend. Also saw the trailer for the new Hulk movie, which looks amazingly great, which if at some point I end up watching, which I'm sure I will, I'll be sure to compare that to the other Hulk, which I didn't think was that great. So, needless to say, Iron Man, thumbs up, definitely worth a watch. I'd probably say it's worth a full ticket price, but if you want to go matinee, I mean, I swear, you have to watch this one in the theater. So, definitely got to watch Iron Man. Anyway, hopefully that helped. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and sorry it took so long. I've been busy, schoolwork. It's like, I graduate in 2 weeks, so got a lot of work to do. Anyway, enjoy the movies.